Because if you felt this guy's biceps, you would know he's not soft. Okay, no, too far. Too far. So Phil Jones is on mono white control. Mono white control is a deck in standard right now. You can play mono white approach to the second sons or mono white life combo. There's this combo where you can give yourselves.
Is it with Solemnity?
Solemnity. No, it's included. No, it's with Avant. What is it? It's like some. I think there's like, I want to say avant-garde, but it's not. It's like there's like a Vanguard guy who you pay life with him to give him a destruct. Adanta Vanguard. And I think what you do, Mario is playing the deck.
Is this the Jim Davis deck by chance?
Maybe.
I've seen him stream.
I think what you do is you pay all your life down to 0, and then you exchange your life total with your opponent. Or you somehow exchange the number of creatures. I don't know. It's kind of like you biorhythm your opponent, maybe. I don't actually know what the cards are, but
okay, interesting.
But then you keep yourself alive with Fumigate, Gideon's Intervention, Gideon. That 4-mana card that I can't. Ixalan's Binding is really good.
That is a card.
Cast Out is good.
I'm gonna
Settle the Wreckage is good. There's a bunch of really powerful mono white control cards in standard. But Phil Jones is not playing Settle the Wreckage, hopefully. Well, he might be.
I don't think that's a super unreasonable card modern, and it's especially good if your opponents aren't playing around it.
I think Settle the Wreckage is terrible in modern.
So what is Brandon playing? Blue, green, white? Just blue, green, and white cards in general? I'm seeing a Noble. I saw Jace and bunch of green creatures. What deck would you presume that Brandon's on? I feel like I see a Gaddock thing in his hand. What the world?
Oh. I think he's playing,
maybe just some type of Abzan?
No.
Like some type of, because I feel like I also see a Devoted Druid.
No, yeah, he's on Bant Company with Vizier combo, and Bant Company now plays Jace. So that's what he's on. He's on Spell Queller, Spell Queller, Bant Company with Jace, but he's also got Vizier, Devoted Druid, and what's the werewolf?
Duskwatch Recruiter.
He's got Duskwatch, and he's got Ballista, I presume.
There is a chance that our boy Phil is just dead here, unless he has an answer to this Devoted Druid, because I know for sure Brandon has a Vizier of Remedies in his hand.
But does he have anything to do with the? Oh, that's a Ballista.
Wait, I'm not sure if he's got the 2/1, the Vizier of Remedies. My mic is like right next to my face.
But he's still soft. He's always been kind of a softie.
Not sure what the deal with that is.
Oh man, look at these land choices from Brandon Carpenter. We've got an unglued island with a, what kind of forest is that? Is it like a revised? That is a revised forest. Thank you, Billy Caminos. If it weren't for Billy Caminos standing right here, I never would have placed that forest. Never would have placed it. So yeah, it's a revised forest with an unglued island. I'm not sure I love that they don't match.
That Billy Caminos, certified good guy.
Certified good, yeah. GG, as they say.
As they say. Around. Okay, so we would have had him dead here. He's about to play.
But he doesn't have the no. He has the Ballista. Yeah. So why are we not winning? Because he doesn't have white mana. No, he has a Hierarch.
It got pathed, you fool.
Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention.
Yes, you were not. You were too busy eating your Triscuits over there.
Yeah.
A classic Mark thing to do, and he has not tapped white mana, unfortunately. So if the spotter could, unless if he's tapping something else, I don't really know what's going on here. Fetch Shock.
Yeah,
okay.
for a Hallowed Fountain. Yep.
Okay. So
while we watch Phil lose, Billy, I heard that you got 3rd place in the store's league. The store's Thursday night Modern League, which
Mark, I also heard you got 3rd place.
Oh, you flatter me, but Billy got 3rd place in the league. Folks, just a reminder, if you live in the area and if you play occasionally at GameSwap, or even if you don't, take a stop by the store on Thursday nights. For the past 5 weeks, we had this league going.
Oh, wait, hold up. Okay.
Oh, we got an arbiter.
No, I thought he almost got a hollowed fountain off of that Wooded Foothills, which is not a land that you can get off of Wooded Foothills, but he did end up getting the...
So we had to change it.
Yeah, I had a mini panic attack there.
Well, thank God that we're so attentive and noticed that. We're here to help, folks. We are here to help. But anyway, stop by the store. I think we're going to do another league soon. But all you have to do to get into the league, you just play Magic on a regular night like normal. But if you make a Patreon contribution or otherwise a subscription to Top Deck Productions, you gain entry into the league, and your wins go towards your league points, which after a set period, probably 4 to 6 or 8 weeks, you can receive prizes. The #1 prizes for the league for this past month, what was it, 4 Aether Vials, I think? Yeah, you get 4 Aether Vials, or I think you could also choose like 10 packs of Modern Master or Eternal Masters or something if you wanted. Masters 25, yeah, whatever that newest crappy set is.
Was it crappy?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crappy.
Billy has confirmed was crappy.
Yeah. If you asked me if I wanted 20 packs of Masters 25 or 20 packs of Gate Crash, it'd be tough. It'd be tough.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like Ravnica or something.
Dude,
well, there's a lot of good stuff.
There is some sweet stuff in Gate Crash. There's Aurelia's Fury.
I mean,
Chase Mythic.
I would be interested in seeing. I would be interested in seeing the actual EV breakdown. I'm sure. I mean, there's shocks, which is like that's a thing.
There are shocks. There are foil shocks.
You were really referring to when you
say
Gate Crash.
No. There's
other stuff you're busting
There's
out.
Boros Elite. There's the Boros Reckoner. That's right.
A lot of staples.
You can't play a shitty mono red deck without Boros Reckoner. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna need to tap one more for that because of the Thalia.
So is this mono white control or just Death and Taxes?
Or is this Thalia on the stack? I'm a little confused. Okay, yes, we have gotten confirmation it was with that on the stack, so he is going to be spell quelling that Thalia. And he's already used 2 paths, so I'm interested to see what other removal he's got. I can't imagine he's really playing like Wrath of Gods and such with his current configuration. See ya, Billy! Bye. There goes Billy.
So I'm really pretty confused, though.
Okay, so he ended up countering his own voice, which I'm interested to see what... Oh, okay, so... Let's try to decipher what just happened.
Wait,
so
how do you...
I'm just... Flicker Wisp, the Spell Queller.
There's just nothing under Spell Queller.
Okay, there's just nothing under Spell Queller, okay.
If they had tried to put that voice under it, I'm like, there's no way that can happen.
I'm like, that
there's just no way.
It seems like it should, but
unless we saw a Scout's Warning.
Okay, so we figured that out. Also, shout out to Tom QJ. What do you think QJ stands for?
Probably Quentin Jarantino.
Okay, probably. Probably. I can get on board with that. And a Horizon Canopy, what a card. What a card. I feel like people didn't realize how good of a card that was until like the past year.
You know what Mario says about that card? He says it pays life, draws cards. Is it Horizon Canopy or is it Grizzleland? All right. It was funnier when Mario said it.
Yeah, I could see a situation occurring where it might be a little bit funny.
I snorted milk out of my nose when Mario first told me that.
I definitely wouldn't. I cannot imagine a situation where I'd laugh so hard I'd snort or shoot milk out of my nose.
Did you ever go to 5th grade, Victor?
Yes, I was in 5th grade at one point in time. Well,
my friends were funny, so I regularly snorted milk out of my nose in 5th grade.
I'm not saying.
I don't know what kind of lowlifes you were hanging out with. I was telling jokes, but
milk was getting shot out of my nose left and right, but not with gristle brain.
Wait a minute. Were you one of those guys that drank Kool-Aid in the cafeteria?
Okay, whoa.
Why
is he scooping?
Because we courted for a mana creature to get infinite mana.
But then what's he do with the infinite mana?
He had Ballista in hand.
He did not.
Okay, well, I'm I'm trying to pretend like I know what's going on.
I feel like that may have been a little bit of an early concession on the part of Phil.
Probably was, especially given that it does benefit Phil to know it in his, what's in his opponent's deck.
I'm trying to think. We may have been missing something, but I don't think.
I think he corded for I think he said cord for 2. Phil assumed he was getting a mana creature to give him infinite mana with the Devoted Druid in play, and that
Vizier. The Vizier was currently in play.
Oh, right. Well, then he still have a whole. Was that an end step though?
I believe that was an end step.
I think did Brandon not have a ballista in his hand that whole time?
No, he ended up actually casting it on for 3. And then
through the wait, why for 3? Oh, for X equals 3.
Yeah, for X equals 3. Shot down a Leonin Arbiter.
Okay.
And then it got passed, to which he just shot Phil for 1.
Well, maybe
that was definitely gone, unless if like
maybe we knew about an Eternal Witness.
No, I mean I'm pretty sure that was the last card in his hand because I was just gearing to ask you like, okay, what are you courting for here? Like, are you just courting for an Ewit, just get like a little loop going? Or
Cord for Ewit is a hell of a play.
It's an often underutilized line, I'll say.
A lot of people don't realize the extent to which Cord of Calling is a 1-card combo.
Yes. I remember in my Kiki pod days, I would often cord into Ewit and then cord into Angel to blink Ewit to get back cord and then cord again for Kiki.
And what is it only takes like 16 mana or something?
Only like 100 probably.
Which could be worse,
It could be worse.
That's less than Gleemax costs.
And I mean sometimes you're playing against Jund.
Anybody Gleemax? Anybody?
I know that's a card that exists for sure.
We get that on camera. I just made a sick reference. And
we did get that on camera, as a matter of fact. Lucky for you.
Gleemax? Wait, what? Oh, get my joke? Yes, they got my joke on camera, but I want.
Oh, you're saying get the Gleemax.
I want the card Gleemax on the camera. Sorry, I interrupted your story about Jund. Please continue.
Well, I was just gonna say, just like words were gonna be said about Jund that have probably been said in the past, and I don't really remember. I was just kind of talking. Oh, they can't really interact with that cord thing all that well. I mean, yeah, they do have removal, which is kind of lame, but, basically any mid-range deck being able to cord over and over again will eventually win you the game.
Pretty sweet, yeah. I agree.
Cord for Ewit. I mean, that's just a free 2-1,
Cord for Ewit, get the cord back. Cord for Restoration Angel. Restoration Angel Ewit, get the cord back. Cord for Thragtusk, and that's when you start laying it on thick and heavy,
Have you ever blinked a Thragtusk with a Restoration?
I have. I did it against Burn. Yeah, I won the game with 26 life.
I've done it against Control one time in response to a Lightning Helix.
Oh, baby.
And my opponent very quickly changed their life total. They're like, all right, Helix that, go to like 17. And I was like, oh, whoa.
Excuse me, sir. Sir. I think I've said this on stream before. I've noticed that when I have an Aven Mind Sensor up, or I have any effect that I need my opponent to not do what they're about to do, or else they'll violate game state, but I need them to like don't pick up your library and search. I need you to stop in response to this Mind Sensor while you're fetching. I found the only way to get people to do it reliably is you have to actually say, in response, very loudly, and you have to put your hand out in front of their face, under their nose. You have to, if it's not in their field of vision while they're looking down at their deck, they will not stop. You got to, aggressively tell them, hey, stop.
And now, this is an interesting card that I would not have expected to see boarded in. It's Aethersworn Canonist.
Yeah, it does mean that Brandon can't double spell. I'm not sure how relevant that is when he's playing.
But you know what he can double spell, and I wonder if this will come up, and if it does come up, if he'll see it. Next turn, if he goes Vizier, has infinite mana, and
plays Ballista. You can still play the Ballista.
You can still play the Ballista just straight up out of your hand.
Yep, you can.
You can only play one non-artifact spell a turn.
That is correct.
I have seen people, and I have also been the person that didn't realize that. Because you just see that and you're like, oh, I can only cast one spell a turn. You just that little heuristic kind of takes over all rational thought, and you don't realize that it's actually not.
Two things. One, nice use of the word heuristic, yes, meaning a rule of thumb. The second thing is I've really enjoyed playing Aethersworn Canonist in 4-color Loam and Legacy. A lot of people don't get that one of the reasons it's so good in that deck, even though it's not super widely played in the sideboard, a lot of people like to stock up on Containment Priest and Thalia, but what's sweet about Canonist in that list, you can actually cast your own Mox Diamonds and Chalices and double spell or triple spell with them with your Canonist in play. It's sweet. Nobody appreciates that subtlety of the sideboard. You know,
I would say that's certifiably sweet.
Well, like, why would I play, 2 Thalia and 2 Containment Priests when I can play 1 Containment Priest, 1 Thalia, and 1 Aethersworn Canonist? It just fits so nicely into that shell. It's got overlapping circles. It's good here. It's bad here. It's worse here.
A big old Venn diagram.
Big old Venn diagram.
What
a double
card
bubble,
is the
as they
white
call
player
it.
using? Asked Little Tiny Dragon. I believe that's like some type of Flicker Whisk promo. I'm not sure. I'm curious.
What's the question?
Here. What is that middle white card?
That's Mangara of Karndor.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mangara of Condor. If we could throw that up on the screen.
Yeah.
No idea what that is.
That card is great in Legacy because it combos with our good friend Caracas. But that's what that is. I don't know why we're playing it in Modern. The card's really just not good enough if you're not playing Caracas. But that's what that is.
Well, he's got the Nganjo land, so he can...
Yeah, I'm not sure preventing damage to it is all that good. Hopefully we have some other legends like that. Well, we saw Thalia's game 1, right? Both Thalia's. So.
Also, I'd like to point out that our boy Brandon over here cast a company without playing second land, which is kind of cool. You know? That's noteworthy. He's been stuck on 1 land this whole time, but really, he probably doesn't really care all that much because, he's got 4 mana in play.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, 4 mana in play. I was going to say 5, but...
Yeah, you can't sack that Horizon Canopy.
Well, and also it would... Yeah, no, he cannot. That's just a really bad, City of Brass at the moment, effectively. Little Tiny Dragon, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just kind of going... do you have any response to this man? He's talking about dealing with some Fallout and all this stuff. Ooh, it combos with Displacer, we're being told. Steak Jones is saying in the chat that it combos with Displacer. Activate Mangara, exile with Displacer. You exile their permanent, and Mangara comes back. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it also combos with any, it combos with Vile Flicker Whisk, combos with Restoration Angel, I guess, but... So, yeah, it does all those things, but...
That Displacer is a tricky card. You can really leverage knowledge of the rules.
Yes, you can. Card's very good.
I've definitely been playing games just kind of at FNM, just kind of farting around, not really knowing what's going on, and ended up in some pretty bad situations thanks to...
I thought you were gonna say where your opponent violently misplaced their Displacer, which that's happened to me. My opponent just plays it completely wrong. I mean, there's so many options with it.
Like, can you think of an example off the top of your head?
Of when someone violently misplays it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when they don't realize they have lethal because they can exile every single one of my guys and have them come in and play tap and just swing. Like
that's a pretty...
Lots of players don't do it.
Let's see, does he draw land? Does not draw land. Another company.
Another company.
I'm sure he's okay with that.
The funny thing is that these companies are just putting lands to the bottom,
Oh, yeah, that is true.
One thing a lot of people don't get about Bloodbraid Elf in Jund, or in any deck, Bloodbraid Elf definitionally puts lands to the bottom of your deck and but reduces your chances to top deck lands. Unlike a lot of spells like that, like this where it's just totally random, like Company, but because Bloodbraid Elf skips lands and hits things below the CMC of Bloodbraid Elf, and they stay at the bottom, you put lands to the bottom always with it.
Now, I'm curious, is our man Brandon here gonna blow up this? Yep, he blows up the Aethersworn Canonist. Now he has infinite mana. But I believe that guy should have a neg1 counter on it, right? Or am I tripping? It doesn't really matter. Does he have the kill or not here? It does not appear that he does. does not really appear he can do much of anything with
Wait, why would it have a counter on it?
Because I'm pretty sure he tapped, he tapped 1, 2, 3, 4.
But he has a Vizier in play.
But to use the ability... Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, shut up, bitch. Shut up. But now he's building out a bit of a board.
So does Phil have a sweet combo line here? Not really. He only has one. This is awkward. Phil only has one. He can only activate Displacer once. He just has one colorless mana.
Oh, yes, that is kind of an unfortunate little thing. I wonder how many colorless lands he has in his deck. How are the Triscuits, my man? Because I can hear the crunching ever so softly in my ears. Not a lot.
Well, they're very good.
Are they?
Did I mention that we are sponsored by Triscuits?
You have.
Nabisco, actually.
I'm gonna check.
We're a sponsor of Triscuits.
6 crackers is 120 calories.
That's not bad.
Not bad. How many carbs? 20 grams of carbohydrates. Is that a lot?
Well, it's 80 calories.
Okay. How many carbs can you have in a day? What's the recommended number?
Doesn't really matter. It's kind of all a wash. The most important thing is you control your caloric intake.
Okay. Well, I try to do that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't, you know. Not all that. But yeah, unfortunately, Phil just does not have a lot of lines here. Usually when you have a Displacer and another creature in play, you do have a lot of lines. But we just don't have any colorless mana.
I'm definitely full of an amount of regret putting this match on. This match was much less exciting than I was originally anticipating.
Yeah, the problem is, so far it just seems like Brandon beating Phil to death with...
Just ever so slowly.
Ever so slowly, without enough land. It's funny, Brandon's at 7 life primarily because he's used Horizon Canopy so many times.
Yeah, really, how many times has he gotten attacked, really? I've not really been watching.
So if Phil has a Restoration Angel in hand here, he can do some damage with Mangara.
I think somebody in the chat is shit-talking you, by the way. If
Me?
You want to respond.
What's their name?
I'll let you take a look at that. Mr. Sovereign.
Top tier commentary. Does this card do what I think it does? I don't know, Chomp Chomp. That's exactly right. Wait, what card did I say?
That may have been me. That could have been something I said, and then they associated the Chomp 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 then with me, but...
Does this card do what I think it does? I don't know what he wants to say about this match here. This match is extremely uneventful.
We're just trying to provide some entertainment to you folks at the very least.
Did he not hear my Gleemax joke from earlier? Can we get Gleemax back up on the screen?
You quit assuming people's genders. You just...
You're right. No, I had not to do that. That's a very serious problem, and I feel ashamed that I've contributed to that negative aspect of the community. So I apologize. I do not want to assume anyone in chat's gender.
I did call them a man on accident at the first, so
well,
I think I'm also...
Well, it's good. It's good to call yourself out.
It is. It is. I'm a good guy, everybody. Write that down. If anybody's taking notes on this commentary, at the very least, write down that Victor's a good guy and Mark really likes Triscuits.
Love him.
Love Triscuits.
Love him.
You know what I'm bummed about? I forgot my water.
We actually sacked our Horizon Canopy for a land, I believe, found a Plains, and then sacked the Plains for a Kessig, and we're going to generate mana only with Vizier, Devoted Druid.
And some birds.
And some birds.
I mean, he can give a creature plus infinite plus
Yeah,
X,
but the problem is he only has one
0.
activation of... he can only tap Kessig once.
Does it matter?
Well, yes, it matters because his opponent... can have a removal if he just removes
the removal.
Yeah, whoever is targeted
does in fact matter. So I guess we
also Brandon only has 2 red, so he can only use Kessig so many times, even if he were unable to untap the Kessig Wolf Run.
Well, as the board currently stands, Phil has to have a removal spell every turn.
Does this card do what I think it does? Chomp, chomp, chomp. Story of my life, man. Story of my life.
I did want to point that out because I thought that was a well-crafted critique. I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm taking it to heart. So we're blocking with the Displacer. Phil has
wait, yeah, he can just blink the display. He can blink whatever the target is every.
Yeah, you can't.
Every turn.
You can't blink the displacer, but yeah, you can blink whoever gets Kessigged. Or you could Mangara it, and then you can blink Mangara or Restoration Angel Mangara. You can do it any number of things here. I just don't understand what's in Phil's hand and what he's doing or not doing with his hand.
Is it Mangara of Condor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I figured out what this card does based on you talking about it, but
but it's not Condor, like the bird. It's Carondor.
Carondor. Okay.
It's sort of like Carruthers.
Pretty expensive foil. It's kind of surprising. Card's $350, but the foil is $18.
Well, it's a legacy pseudo staple.
Remove Condor. Remove Mangara of Carondor and target permanent from the game. Okay. I'm pretty sure Phil's deck used to be Legacy Taxes.
Well, I know Phil owns Legacy Taxes because he and I have played before. I've also seen him play this variant in Modern before, too.
I've definitely played against just straight mono white decks, and it just feels so bad losing to a deck that goes turn 1 planes go. Like,
hey, sometimes the Thraben and Spectre will get you. Don't forget about that.
I remember, shout out to Paul Canuto. Kind of a little bit of a Latin flair there. Kind of into that. But I remember watching some video where it was like, what is the least intimidating opening?
Basic planes go.
Basic planes go was determined as the answer.
I believe that, yeah.
Which I find to be funny, you know.
Yeah.
That's just
for me,
right
what's the most intimidating start? I have an answer for this.
Yeah, what is the thing you're most scared of to see your opponent do? Turn 1.
Turn 1, Temple of Deceit, tapped, scry 1.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's terrifying.
They're on Adnos.
Yeah, that means you're probably going to die pretty quick.
They're on Adnos, or they're on a terrible budget blue-black control deck.
I think for me, the scariest thing would be something like Hollow 1, or not Hollow 1. Hollowed Fountain untapped into Ancestral Vision.
When they're on the play. If they're on the draw, I'm like, oh, all day, please come at me.
Well, I can't really beat the card Ancestral Vision if it is resolved ever. Basically, any deck I've ever played cannot beat that card resolving.
When you're playing Night of the Reliquary and Wild Nicodle, if your opponent's on the draw and they turn 1 Ancestral Visions, it basically means they took a mulligan. And instead of casting Serum Visions on their turn 1 when they're down to 6 cards, they did nothing on turn 1 and instead used their mana mulliganing. That's how I feel about my opponent casting Ancestral on turn 1 when they're on the draw. When on the play, I just scoop up. I don't even play the match.
Just don't even play?
Yeah. Oh, it's real bad.
Stuff is happening right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brandon cannot sack any more Okay, so we got infinite mana for Kessig.
So, what has happened?
Well, I think we used the Mirren Crusader to some effect. But it's not very clear.
Well, by not for sure.
By not very clear, I mean
boy Brandon took it down.
He did take it down.
Shout out.
I'm not sure how we presented lethal while Phil had mana up on Displacer, because we could still displace whatever got Kessigged.
Oh, excuse me, people.
Folks, he's coughing again.
That one was not big.
Soon he'll evolve into wheezing.
Shut up. So, do we want to throw on another match? Maybe something a little bit more exciting?
We got about 20 minutes, so.
Maybe with like 10 minutes left, we